Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. So as you can see in front of me, I have got the Hoya that I do currently have in my collection. I think there's a total of about 14 different Hoya here. One of them I haven't got down, but when I get to showing you the cuttings that I have taken from that plant, I will insert a little clip of the plant hanging in its actual location in my home. But before we do get into going through these plants, if you're new here, my name's Amy and this is my jungle. If you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to give it a like, as well as hit the subscribe button for more planty content. If you're not new here, thank you again for joining me. I really do appreciate having you here. Now the Hoya in front of me are not ranked in any particular order, so I'm just going to go through them as I get to them. I will be moving some of them out of the way just so I've got a bit more space to play with as well as we go through. But yeah, I suppose we will jump in with the ones on the trellises just because, you know, they take up quite a bit of space. So the first Hoya that I'm going to show you is my Hoya Crimson Queen. Now, this one I got for Christmas last year and it is giving me some nice fully white leaves here. Now they don't last for very long, but they are pretty while they're there. I mean, this one has got some green on the back, and you can see a little shadow of it through the front. But this one I popped onto a trellis, and I believe you're supposed to twirl them anti-clockwise because that's the way they would naturally grow if given the option to climb. So yeah, I've given that a go here. It has, like I say, pushed out this long runner, and now it's starting to fill in with some leaves here and there. But this is my Hoya Crimson Queen. The next plant that I have on a trellis is my Hoya Australis Lisa. As you can see, this one is a bit more full than the last one. I purchased this off of a friend on Instagram, and it was already quite a big plant when she sent it to me. I think she had been growing it in semi-hydro. I have popped it back into the Grow Tropicals Hoya mix, and it seems to coped really well with the transition. I've not had any sort of like dieback or anything. It's been doing really well. I'm really loving the size of the lower leaves and I can't wait for it to start pushing out more leaves of this size. But yeah, this is the Hoya Australis Lisa. Okay, so moving on. This one is a recent addition to my collection. This is the Hoya Cigillatus. I'm just going to tilt it forward so you can see it. It is one that I do want to get onto a trellis. As you can see, it's got quite a few vines that it's sending out. So far, I've not got a huge amount to say on this plant. Like I say, it is quite new. I think I've got it in the last month. But I have noticed it is popping out a few leaves on the vines, so hopefully when I get this one on a trellis it'll push out quite a few more leaves and start to fill out at the top. And then the next one we have is my Hoya Castier. Again, I'm terrible with names, so they will be on the screen. But yeah, I love the veination on this, the dark green on the lighter green leaves. Again, it's another one that I do really need to look to get onto a trellis, but it is, I mean, I don't know if you can see here, but it is currently vining around itself. So yeah, I am going to have to look at untangling that and popping it on a trellis relatively soon. But yeah, so far it has been growing really well for me. I've not had any issues with this Hoya, touch wood. So fingers crossed it carries on that way. The next Hoya I'm going to show you, just because it keeps wanting to attach itself to my jumper, is the Hoya C Choke, I think it's pronounced. I absolutely love the shape of the leaves on this one. This is what drew me to it. And I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but they are quite fuzzy as well when you touch them. Another one that I am not sure whether or not I should have it climbing or trailing. At the moment, we've got a few vines going here, there and everywhere, but I think it looks pretty cool as it is. So we'll see when I get some more trellises whether or not I decide to pop this one on one or to just have it so that it is trailing down. But yeah, again, another one that is pushing out some new leaves. Has been relatively easy care since I've got it. I think I water these, well, all of my Hoya actually, every sort of like 7 to 10 days. And then every Sunday they get a spray down with my Hoya fertilizer mist that I've made up for them, and they seem to be coping quite well with that, as I've not really had any issues with any of them so far. Moving on from that one, I have got the Hoya Puix. Now, this was one of the original Hoya to come into my collection, one of the first ones that I ever got, and this was, I mean, it still is just one cutting. I just haven't ever propagated it. I love how dark the leaves come in. So this sits right underneath one of my grow lights, so it gets a really nice deep purple sun stressing on it. And yeah, it is shooting up another vine just in here from the base. So again, quite excited to see how this continues to grow. And in all honesty, another one, I'm not sure if I'm going to have it trailing or climbing. Now that I am showing these to you, I have noticed how dusty they are. So that'll be something that I look to do as soon as we've done filming this video. But yeah, the Hoya Puix. Another plant that was, yeah, I think this I got at the same time as my Hoya Puix. This is the Hoya Crimson Princess, or the Hoya Carnosa Tricolour. As you can see, it's got some beautiful pink sun stressing on these new leaves that have just come out. And if you have a look at the stem, it is also a beautiful pink colour. So this side sits right underneath where the grow lights are, and as you can see, this side where it has been throwing out slightly more green coloured leaves has also got the darker stem, but this one grows like out of the light. I think it's quite fascinating to see the difference in the leaves on this one. But yeah, this went through a period where it just did nothing. So it was, I'd say probably about this little section here, just for ages. And then I decided I was going to chop and prop to see if that promoted any growth. So this section here was the bit that I cut off to propagate. I just water propagated it and it grew roots relatively quickly. And since then, like I say, this bit has rooted well and is now back in with the mother plant and is pushing out new growth. This section here has also been pushing out growth, and then I got this entire vine start to come up as well. I think once it gets a little bit bigger, I will probably look to, I might leave this one to trail, seeing as I have got my Crimson Queen trellised, but again, I will decide as and when the plants get a little bit bigger. A lot of my Hoya have been bought as either cuttings or small plants. I think the only ones that I have got that have been quite big ones are the first few that I showed you. And my, we'll talk about it now, my Hoya Linearis. So this is the plant that I'm just showing you some cuttings of. And I will put some footage in now so you can see the actual mother plant. So these cuttings, they are going to be being put in with the mother plant. They've rooted up really well, and as you can see, just got them in water. This is a plant that was on my wish list, and my sisters managed to find it in a local plant shop in Bluewater, and they purchased it for me for Christmas last year. and I have had no problems whatsoever with it. It grows like a weed and I have to keep cutting it back, but it means that I can add more into the top to get it more full. And yeah, I'm really loving watching it grow. I've not actually had any of my Hoyas flower for me, but as I say, quite a few of them are quite juvenile, so I feel I've got to give them the benefit of the doubt and a little bit more time to grow in my care before I will actually see some blooms. But I'm very, very excited and hopeful that that is something that I will get to experience at some point. The next Hoya that I'm going to show you is the Hoya Memoria. This is one of the Hoyas that I purchased, I think it was part of my birthday haul. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it's the shape of the leaves, the feel of the leaves that draws me to it. So this has got like a little bit of a, you might not be able to see because it's so dusty, but it's got a bit of a splashy look to it. And yeah, that's what drew me into this one, and the fact that I did just really want to up my Hoya game. But again, has been growing really well, sits underneath my grow lights on my shelf. I think I showed you in a video previously that I had created just an entire Hoya shelf, which again are at the end I'll pop some footage in so you can see all the plants as they are on my shelf and where they're growing. The next one is one that I am, it's labelled as the Hoya SP Af Bertone, but I'm unsure as to whether or not it is or isn't the variegated Hoya Bertone. So I have this section here, so this was all bought as one baby plant, but I have this section here which looks to be predominantly green. It's got a faint light green line through the middle. But then on the other section, it is now pushing out leaves that do look like they are variegated. So I'm not 100% sure. And looking at one of the older leaves on that vine, you can see it's got quite a prominent bit of variegation in the middle. So yeah, I'm not sure what to expect from this one growth-wise, but currently I have just labelled it as the Hoya SP Af Bertone. And this is one that I think I'm definitely going to keep trailing. I've seen quite a few pictures on Instagram, and once they are sort of a bit more full and lush, they look gorgeous. So yeah, I'm quite excited to watch that one grow, and that's it. I'll keep you updated as to whether or not it is the variegated version or not, but that is one that if it isn't, I will be looking to add the variegated Hoya Bertone into my collection. Now this one here again is another one that I've recently purchased, and this is the Hoya Castier, and it was the veination on this plant that drew me to it, and the size of the leaves, it is stunning. It is also in the process of, so since coming home, sending out these vines, but also on the vines, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, but there are a couple of baby leaves emerging. So I am very excited to see how this one continues to grow. Like I say, not a huge amount to say about it because it is very new to my collection, but has been doing really well since it came. So definitely becoming one of my favourite Hoyas. Which one should we go for next? Let's go for this one as it's right in front of me. So this one is the Hoya WTii Tricolour, and I want to get all of the variations of the Hoya WTii into my collection, but this one I found as a baby plant and I fell in love with the variegation on it. I do like variegated plants, but I must admit I am a green girl. Green is my favourite colour, has been ever since I was little. I always wanted my room green. And yeah, that seems to have gone into my hobbies as an adult. But yeah, again, another one that when I first got it wasn't doing a huge amount. But once it had acclimatised, started sending out some nice new growth. So quite excited to see how this one grows. And another one that I will probably leave as a trailing plant as it starts to get bigger. The last two Hoya in my collection, they're ones that I'm not hugely certain I've got the correct names for. So if you guys know Hoya better than me and you know, have any suggestions as to what they could be, please do leave a comment down below to let me know. And the first one is the Hoya Cronana Black. Now, the reason I think this is the Hoya Cronana Black, as it was just one that was labelled as Hoya Mix when I bought it, is just because of how dark these new leaves actually come in, and then they do fade down to a green. But yeah, like I say, I'm not 100% sure if that is truly what this plant is. Like I say, if you know, please leave a comment down below. It'd be great to make sure I've got the correct names down for my plants. I'm a little bit OCD with it. Every single plant in my collection has got a little name tag. And the last one is, I've got labelled as the Hoya Lacunosa Sil. Again, I could be wrong, but when I was looking online to try and determine which type of Hoya this was, I was seeing the Hoya Lacunosa, and also, oh, what was the other one that I was seeing? But another similar one. I'll put the name on the screen of what it was, but it did look like the names were interchangeable, as the plants did look very, very similar. This one could do with a drink. But yeah, again, another one that has, when I got it, this bit ended about here, and since being in my care, it has pushed out all of this growth, and that has been over the past couple of months. But really, really enjoying watching this one grow. And that is it for the Hoya tour. So that is all of the Hoya that I do have in my collection. Are you guys Hoya heads? Do you tend to like to grow Hoya? And if so, do you prefer them trailing or trellised? Do let me know down in the comments. It would be great to catch up with you. But yeah, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a like, as well as hit the notification bell and subscribe to the channel for more planty content. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Have a great weekend. Bye.